Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We have exactly 13 seconds left, and we are going to be switching over to the live feed, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. It is truly awesome to have all of you here with us as we are about to get started. We're going to pop open this webcam. How are you guys doing here? Yeah, me and my bald head today, but we are getting going here. As you can see, Farmer, the practice session is up and everybody's rolling through. Let's take a look at this as we bounce through here. We got wonderful people here joining us here during this stream. It is truly an honor to have you guys here. We are at Oulton Park and we are going to be battling it out here all day and all night as we get started here. Round 3 at Oulton Park. Let's switch over here to, we have 19 drivers total here to showcase themselves. So we're waiting to see LaRock diving into the pits. He's going to be finishing up his final lap. Perry Lewis coming through in that Ferrari. He's going to be finishing up his final lap as well. And Valone down in that P19 spot, finishing up with the free practice session. Now, this race is going to be interesting here at GT Meister Racing. I'm your host, Exia, as we get started. It's a 45-minute race. There is no... You cannot take fuel this race, so you have to preset your fuel before the start of the race, and then we will. But there is no mandatory pit or tire requirement, so the drivers will be trying to go through their qualifying session to see where they place themselves at in this qualifying session. And so it's definitely going to be an interesting one to say the least here as we go through. So let's take a look and wait to see the drivers come around here. As we get a little bit of a wiggle out of Valone. He's finishing up his lap with a minute 20, and he lost it. And click over. We should click right over to qualifying. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's switch over to the drive session and take a look at watching these guys roll out here as we get going. Oh, there we go. As we get going, as we can see some of the cars rolling out already. Let's take a look. Let's see, we saw Shuffler moving out. Let's find where Shuffler's on the list here. And there he is, Shuffler in that Joker's themed, Lewis Hamilton themed number 44 Ford Mustang of Shuffy Racing here at GT Meister Racing as he is rolling himself out. We also have Andrew Jaschke, Mr. Tyler Farmer here. He is rolling through the grid here in the NSX Evo. And for those that are wondering and keeping up here, we also had Hamza Golzar. He is in the older NSX, ladies and gentlemen. As for those that do not know, he was giving 6 car selections and 6 different cars for him to start off his series with us here. So he actually had to pick which car he wanted to race for each race. Once he raced that one car, he could not race it for the remainder of the season. So he had to go with the old NSX. So it's definitely going to be a challenge for him to see where he succeeds and how he does. Let's take a look at the map. Number 15, Andrew Jaschke is going to be leading the way. Tyler Farmer right behind the Mustang. Is Farmer going to try to squeeze his way through? Farmer's going to try to set the provisional lap here. Let's take a look. We're going to ride along board with Farmer as he is about to cross the line. We're going to roll with him as I get a sip of coffee before I lose my voice at the start of this. Beautiful run through the first chicane. You can see how tight he was running and heavily on the brakes. He was using that NSX. He's going to come up to the second chicane right now. As you can see, some people blowing through the brake markers here, dodging that black. Ooh, as we see Chestnut, a.k.a. Yes, Chestnut in the background spinning in that Ferrari 296, the 595 car as Farmer comes up the hill, holding it tight as he comes through by the Sunco signs. And he's going to fly through this. He's going to have Shuffler here right behind him. So Farmer's going to set the provisional pole here in qualifying session with 16 minutes and 50 seconds left to play. Here goes Farmer through out of the back end of the track onto the main straight. And he's going to cross the line with a 133.7. 8-0. Shuffler crosses the line. He is 1.2 seconds back. Andrew Jaschke's going to cross the line. It is invalid. The Hoonigan Mustang is invalid. Perry Lewis coming in at 2.37 seconds. Alan Zhu, 3.5 seconds. James Parks, the McLaren driver, in the AM class. He is coming into the hairpin here as he works his way around the grid here. So we're going to keep on board with everybody as they go through here in this beautiful race. Nice run through there. Felix Palant, 2.4 seconds off the pace. Hamza Gozar up 1.332 off the pace. Andre Lloyd slotting himself into P3 there as well as we watch these drivers work their way around the track. As you can see, James Parks holding a good line here. He's going to be battling it out. Brian Katz out qualifying Alan Zhu. Josh Kimball, he has been moved to silver class. Josh Kimball sitting there in that P11 spot. He has yet to set a time here. Let's take a look. Let's go find him on the track. As he crosses the line, he's going to slot himself P6 ahead of Perry Lewis. 0.3 ahead as we see Vasquez there in that other Porsche. There's the pink Rexy, pinkish purple Rexy, working his way around the track down into the turn 2 section. There, he's definitely keeping it held tight as he goes around the bend. Here, let's take a look who's up. LaRock, 0.9 up on his time. He still has yet to set something in that Aston Martin of the heart of racing car. Working his way through. He's holding it tight through the Sunco signs. Going around the bend. Here he goes down into the second to last corner here. Nice and tight. Now trying not to... Ooh, a little bit of a wiggle out there. He's still holding 1.1 seconds up, so this would put him in the 135. P3, 0.9 back. Lloyd reeling himself into Farmer to 0.8. Oh, they are definitely putting in the times right now. James Parks up 0.9 coming out of that first chicane, now into the second chicane. What can the McLaren driver do? He is still holding up a second. He is the fastest driver right now on the track, ladies and gentlemen. As he goes around the bends, we're going to keep an eye on everything as we go through. We're going to pull this up here real quick. Okay, there we go. James Parks now 0.7. We got Perry Lewis up 0.8 right now on his time. 0.8 would slot him into that P8 range right in front of Dubois as he goes through. Here he comes through the Sunco sign. What can he do? Beautiful run by Perry Lewis as he goes through into the second of the final corner here. Coming out, you can see a little bit of a wiggle out of the Ferrari. And he crosses the line. Does he improve? P6, leapfrogging Hamza Gozar. The Perry Lewis definitely showcasing a huge amount of pace here. Now we have Felix Palant, 0.4. He's about to cross the line. He jumps up to P9. Brian Katz up 0.5. He's got, looks like, Sharma behind him chasing down in that Mustang as they work their way through the Sunco chemical board. He is all over the pace trying not to get into anybody's way. Heavily on the braking. Here comes the Porsche coming out. The Kangaroo racing car. What can it do? as he's 7/10 up on his time. P14 out qualifying James Parks and Alan Zhu by 2/10, ladies and gentlemen. Andre Lloyd's going to be sitting in the pits. LaRock reeling in. Farmer by 6. Shuffy by 7. Jashke by another 7/10. Lloyd 8. Hamza Gazar in the back half there, sitting on the outside in that time. Right now, we do not have a big improver, but we're going to rock with DeBow. Now, we have been talking about the drivers and their places. Let's take a look at their standings here so far. As of right now, Matt Ogilvy, he is not racing. Austin Brown is sitting there in P2. He is not racing. Ryan Rourke is not racing here. So as of right now, the drivers that are in contention is James Parks. Patrick Allen isn't racing. Alan Zhu and Brian Katz. So those three drivers are going to get a massive jump here in the point standings here in this race series. So those three drivers will leapfrog and get a lot of points. Right now, we have James Parks with 94, Alan Zhu with 92, and Brian Katz with 51 here in this battle. But we're going to leapfrog over here. Do we have any bigger movers? Curtis Vallone, he's up 8/10 in the Porsche as he reaches that first braking marker in that Porsche. Down in the second chicane, catching up a lot of that curbing there, moving it around and trying to figure out what he can do as he works his way up the hill. We're going to ride alongside inside. They're up into P16, only a 10th back from Alan Zuvallone, one of the drivers from last season that moved up into the from the AM to Pro. It's definitely Oulton Park, a challenging British track, holding him back a little bit in his pace. Easton here now in that Mustang, trying to find out more pace. He's up 4/10 on his time. This would slot him into that P7, P8 range and get him closer with 10 minutes remaining. Easton's looking super strong here as we switch over to the standings of our silver team here. With the race as it develops right now, Chestnut in a controlling 1-point lead ahead of DeBow and Josh Kimball right now, with Kent Anderson 1 point back and Liam McNeil 1 point back from them. So this battle is developing and it is growing between these guys. So hopefully we can kind of see a good fight out of these silver guys here in this matchup. Easton slots himself up to P6. Now we have Vasquez up 6/10 as he's working his way up to the second to last corner. The 6/10 will reel him into that top 5. And now he's found 2 more 10s coming out of that corner. And he slots himself up to P4 here. 7/10 back. Farmer still sitting in the pits. He is not going to set a lap. He is already 6/10 ahead of the field here in that NSX Evo. As we work our way through, do we have any big provers? We have Felix Palan in that Audi for the ORC Podium Hunter squad. He's working his way through the Sun Cosine in that beautiful Audi R8, catching a lot of dirt, trying to wrestle it in. He's going to pull off to the side. He's not liking how it feels. Christopher Shuffler up 2/10. He's going to try to jump up in the standings here in that Mustang and try to capitalize in this race. He's up 2/10. He's got 2 more corners left. He's going to have to try to dig deep to find a little bit more. Beautiful braking. Found a 10th. Accelerates out. Can he hold it? He still adds that 2 in the bag. What's he going to do when he crosses the line? Up to P2. Right behind Farmer. 6/10 back. Shuffler definitely showcasing his pace that he can do with this Mustang here in ACC at GT Meister Racing, ladies and gentlemen. The track is hot. Now, after qualifying, the drivers are going to go into Sunday on a much colder and darker race here at GT Meister Racing. Rated by Yo El Taco Man. Thank you for the raid. Packers suck. Thank you for the raid, El Taco Man. It's truly an honor to have you guys here at GT Meister Racing. Thank you for the follow. Welcome, Raider. Hey, man, we're 1-1 in the championship battle. That's all I got to say, bro. That's all I got to say. But thank you guys for the raid. It's truly awesome to have you guys here as party. Thank you for the followers. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Lone Star Jeep Guy, for joining the stream, guys. This is awesome. We're at Oulton Park. The race is battling it out. LaRock up 1/10 as he's working through. We have 7 minutes left to play. He's going to have Shuffler in front of him. Is Shuffler going to hold him up? Oh, actually, that's Alan too. I apologize. Nothing but love, brother. Truly awesome. Nothing but love to you too, buddy. Truly awesome. Happy to see you back streaming again, man. It's truly awesome. We got to get up to racing and iRacing too, man. Tykes, welcome to the chat, Tykes. Definitely an honor to have you guys here as Alexander LaRock backs out of it. Perry Lewis up a 10th as he's working his way up to the hill, up to the Suncoast sign. Here he goes. Can he hold it through with the 296 Ferrari? Let's see what he can do. Goes around. Up to the second to last corner. Can he find time? Right now he doesn't really have anything in the bag. But who does have something in the back? Christopher Shuffler with 2/10 coming up to the hairpin through this fast left-hander in that Mustang. Heavily on the brakes. He's going to hug it tight. Can he pull out that 2/10? The Packers suck was the idea, but you beautiful ball. You know what? I'm going to allow that. Now Shuffler coming out of the first chicane, holding it nice and tight with that Mustang. The only other big follower we have is Ken Anderson. He's up 2/10 right now. Let's take a look at where he's at. Number 79. He's working his way down the hill in that Aston Martin. So we're going to jump back over to Shuffler and then switch back to Kent as the race goes through. I want to hear the race car. Oh, my bad. Boop. There you go. My apologies, El Taco Man. As we go through, Shuffy still up 3/10 out of the Suncoast sign. He's coming up to the second of the final corner here in the Mustang. He is trying to reel Farmer in for that pole position. He's got four in the bag, now 5. Can he get 6 to reel Farmer in as he crosses the line? .098, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to switch over to Kent Anderson. Kent Anderson through the second split, 7/10 up. Kent now trying to solidify his silver. Fox saying go Kimball. Josh Kimball in your P9 spot in the Porsche. He's now being bumped up into silver. We're going to have to keep an eye on him. We'll switch over to him in a second. But right now, Kent Anderson up about a 10th here as they work their way through up to the 2 last corners here. Kent Anderson dives onto the brakes as he hooks around. As they go through El Taco Man, I've got to get ready for work tonight. Hey, we'll catch up soon, El Taco Man. Thank you for the raid. Thank you for the follows, everybody. And Ken Anderson up to P12 there in the Aston Martin. He is trying to solidify himself into that silver series. As we see Josh Kimball is in the pits there. We're going to have to wait to see when he comes out of the pits. Anderson taking the ultra wide line. LaRock now up a 10th here on his time. Can the Aston Martin driver find something on the downhill at the start of the race? As of right now, him and Vasquez are on a bit of a flyer, but they're not picking up a whole lot of time. LaRock now 2/10 as they work their way through. Here he goes through the fast left-hander in that Aston Martin. Let's take a look at how it looks in the hairpin. Super late on the brakes there as they work their way through. DeBow kind of looking, he's skittish from the 0 to 1. Now Perry Lewis up 9/10. We're going to switch up with Perry Lewis. It's going to go Perry, then it's going to go LaRock. Perry Lewis up now 1.1 seconds here out of the second chicane as he works his way up the hill in the 296. If he can hold that 1.1 seconds, this would push him into that top 5 to solidify him as a faster driver for that silver category. Now as he goes through the Suncoast side, he's still holding it. He's still got time. He can find it more. I think he actually lost a lot of that through that Suncoast side. He did. He actually lost a lot of that time there in the Delta reading. as he works his way down the hill and back up. He actually lost 2/10. We're going to have to keep an eye on him. We know he's got the pace to improve. We know he's got what it takes to jump up ahead. But we have Felix Palat in that Audi R8 working his way down the hill up to the second chicane. 3/10 up on his time. Utilizing all of that curbing. Definitely see him pushing the boundaries in that Audi R8. We're going to have to see what he can do as he reaches the Sunco signs. Beautiful all the way out to the line. 4/10 now. He is rolling heavily on the brakes into turn the second to last corner. Now coming down the hill, back up onto the main straight. What can he do as he crosses the line? Up to P9. As we see Josh Kimball, he is sitting in the pits. As we see LaRock still up a 10th. Vasquez bouncing back between a 10th. Nobody really know where they want to sit here in this race. As we go through, LaRock still... let's take a look. Where is LaRock, the 196 car? He's coming up to... he is through the Sunco sign. Now he's going to be coming up to the second to the last corner. He's teeter-tottering. Doesn't look like he's going to... I think he's going to try to line himself up for a final run here, ladies and gentlemen. As he goes, he's going to pull off. He's not... I think he's done. I don't think he's going to be trying for another run. Right now, Curtis Vallone, our P19 driver here. Our AM driver who had gone to silver based on his pace performance last season into the first chicane. Nice and tight. Beautiful. Trying to minimize the amount of curbing here as he accelerates out of the hole with 40 seconds left. He's up 6/10 on his time. That 6/10 will put him up by the other silver drivers of Ken Anderson, Perry Lewis, and Josh Kimball. Seven tenths now up to the Sunco sign. See, can he hold it through? He is holding it. Got a 10th out of there. Up to P14. That's going to be his flyer lap there, ladies and gentlemen. Perry Lewis up 2/10. Let's see where Sharma is. Number 47 is going to be right behind Perry Lewis. He's the only other person that's on a flyer lap with Perry Lewis that is on a positive time of that 3/10. So we're going to see where Perry Lewis lines himself up here, heavily into the brakes of the second and the final corner here. Ooh, he holds it in tight. He's going to lose a lot of that time. I don't think he's going to improve, ladies and gentlemen. Perry Lewis crosses the line. He does not improve. Now Sharma in that Mustang. Second to last corner, the India driver. Oh, a little bit of a wiggle out of the Mustang. Up on the way up the hill, 5/10. He does improve, but not by a whole lot, ladies and gentlemen. And there is your qualifying session. Farmer into P1, Shuffler into P2, LaRock P3, Jashke P4, Vasquez 5, Lloyd 6, Easton 7, Hamza Gulzar 8, Felix Palat 9, Josh Kimball 10, Perry Lewis 11, Ken Anderson 12, Sharma 13, Vallone 14, DeBow 15, Cat 16, Chestnut 17, Alan Zoo 18, and James Parks 19, ladies and gentlemen. So the battle is definitely going to be interesting, especially when we switch over and we look at the pro side. Right now, Muhammad Irfan, P1 with 102 points. Farmer with 98 points. And then we have Christopher Shuffler with 95. We're going to just quickly switch back to drive. Now, we're going to actually ride along board. We're going to ride along board Farmer. We're going to do the thing that we usually do here at GTMR. For those that do not know, at GTMR, we actually will give you a track run. We'll slide out of Farmer's car ladies and gentlemen. And there you have the grid at Oulton Park. We are starting at Sunday at 7 p.m. So the drive race will go to 9 p.m. with the 2 times multiplier. And there you have it, Farmer, your P1 pole sitter. There with Christopher Shuffler in the Mustang, with LaRock in the Aston Martin, Jashke in that other Mustang, the Hoonakins Mustang, Vasquez in that P5, Andre Lloyd in the Punisher Aston Martin, as well as then we have Easton. Where's Lloyd? Oh yeah, Lloyd. My bad. Easton in P7. Hamza Golzar sacrificing his life to race the NSX non-Evo because he likes a challenge. Felix Palant in P9. Josh Kimball for Fox here. He is in P10. Perry Lewis in P11. Ken Anderson in P12. Sharma in P13. Valone in P14. DeBow in P15. Katz in P16. Chestnut in 17. Alan Zhu in P18 in that beautiful GTMR livery car. And James Parks in P19. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your champion. That is your grid order here. I'm not your championship. Your grid order here. Before we start at Oulton Park, if there is a driver that you'd like to see in the race, please let me know in the stream chat. I will definitely try to showcase them throughout this race, but we are about to get going, ladies and gentlemen. It is truly an honor to have all of you guys here with us as we get ready to race. So right now with the championship points, I mean, Molina's not racing for the pro side right now. So right now the big battles: Farmer, Shuffler, Jashke, LaRock, Lloyd, Felix Palant. Everybody separating themselves to about 2 to 3 points here in this championship fight. So it's definitely going to be an interesting one, to say the least, and see where all these battles play out, everybody. So we'll definitely keep an eye in here. We have 23 seconds left. I have coffee. I'm probably going to lose my voice. But you know what? You guys are going to have an amazing time here with us in this race. If you're still tuning in from the El Taco Man chat, from his stream that rated us, thank you for definitely following us. Please click the follow button if you are liking what you see. It's truly an honor to have all of you guys here participating and joining us at GT Meister Racing. If you'd like to join to race with us, definitely check us out on thesimgrid.com or join us on with our Twitch link here, ladies and gentlemen, and be a part of the league. We definitely would love to have all of you guys here participating with us, whether you want to race or you just want to hang out with us. We also do iRacing. We do GT4s on Monday. We will be having the GT3 series coming in for iRacing as well as we will be starting up a we will also be starting up a NASCAR next gen and or trucks, kind of like a super speedway sprint series, which is about 50 laps race. So that'll be definitely interesting, to say the least. But yeah, no, it would be awesome to have all of you guys here, part of the league as well. And even if you're just watching to kill some time for the night, I'm happy to have you guys here as we get started here at Oulton Park. So with that being said, Farmer in your P1, the big movers that would be interesting to see definitely in this fight that I'm going to definitely say is Andre Lloyd here in that P6 spot here in that Punisher Aston Martin. He needs to move up in the points. We know he has the pace and we know he has the capabilities of moving up here in this championship. So that's definitely going to be an interesting one, to say the least. Hamza Golzar in that old Aston Martin, the pro driver in the NSX that has decided to hate his life and select a lot of old cars. It's definitely going to be an interesting one, to say the least, to see how he performs here in this race as well. Now we're going to slot ourselves back into the silver side as well as the amateur side. And with that amateur side, we have the new driver, Sharma, here up in P13. We're going to have to see how his Mustang does in the battle here against everybody here in this race. We know Valone, Dubois, those two drivers are going to want to try to jump. But right now, Katz, Alan Zhu, James Parks, definitely showing a lot of performance for the AM side in their three-way battle here in the AM Championship. Chris Chestnut, he is right now leading the AM series with Josh against Josh Kimball. Chestnut is 1 point ahead of Josh Kimball. And as of right now, Josh Kimball is sitting ahead of him in that championship fight. So Chestnut is going to have to do whatever he can to dig deep. This race is a no refueling for the race. It's a 45-minute sprint. You can take tires, but you don't need it, but you cannot take fuel. And right now, this track is going to be crazy with these drivers as we get started here. As we wait, as there's 2 corners left, they are going to be coming across the line. Let's switch the camera view up here before we go green. Ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be a crazy one. As we wait. Green, green, green. We are away, ladies and gentlemen. We start up into turn 1. Here we go through heavily on the brakes. The drivers are working their way through side by side. You can see, oh, looks like Jashki, LaRock, door to door. Vasquez now tucking in. LaRock now catching back. Easton now getting attacked by Lloyd. Lloyd having to catch out with Hamza Gazar right behind him. Josh Kimball working his way through. Felix Palant losing it out in the background as they work their way up the grid. Ken Anderson trying to figure out what he's going to do with Sharma in the background with Christopher Curtis Malone. I apologize, as they work through into the hairpin side by side, nose to tail. Sharma looking on the inside of Ken Anderson, trying to figure out something to do in that there as they go up into the first chicane here. We're going to switch up aboard in the beginning. Vasquez now trying to reel in LaRock here as they work their way up the hill, up to the second chicane here. It looks like Farmer now getting attacked by Shuffler here as they work their way through. Hamza now taking a look on the inside of Lloyd. Lloyd now having to check out. Hamza sticking the nose in with the NSX as they work their way through. Chestnut losing a little bit, sliding back to P19, but the grid is flying through here on this track here. The interesting point is, what is the sunlight going to do? Now the Porsche of Josh Kimball on the back of Gulzar in that NSX as they work their way through the grid here. LaRock looking at Jashki, definitely taking a look in and backing out here as they fly through this track in through the second to the final corner onto the back straight here, the main straight here as they go through. We're going to jump back forward. Ooh, Sharma with a little bit of a wiggle. That's going to allow Curtis Malone to reel him in the best that he can. DeBow in that Mustang now, trying everything he can do. Brian Katz now separating himself from Alan Zhu. Alan Zhu now having the attack of Chestnut and James Parks in the background. We're going to slot our way back up into this grid because there is a battle for P3 here between Jashki, LaRock, Vasquez, Easton, Lloyd. Oh, looks like Jashki loses it. He's going to crash into... Oh! That's a little interesting there. Now the drivers are going to have to catch out and move around. That is definitely going to throw everybody off the pace. Did Jashki lose? Did his car shut off there? Down into the first chicane here as we see Hamza. He's going to be able to get through there. Lloyd now with Perry Lewis in the background here as they chase themselves way down. Sharma definitely taking a look. Felix Palant off the track there in the background. Teichman in the chat. Wow, it is a wow indeed as these drivers are keep battling it out through the best that they possibly can here. And now we're going to see the shuffling of other drivers here in the standings. Josh Kimball up to P5 here in the overall fight here with Lloyd in the background taking a look as they work their way through. DeBow now on the back of it. Ken Anderson. Valone now taking a look on the inside of DeBow in that Mustang. Heavily on the brakes into the second corner. Side by side, both drivers go here. A little bit of a wiggle out of Valone. DeBow now. Here comes the drag race down the main straight. There's Ken Anderson. DeBow, ooh, going a little bit wide. Looks like Valone is going to have to check up there. Vasquez goes into the pits as they work their way down the hill. Here they go through. Ooh, looking like Katz. Brian Katz going off the track there a little bit as they go through. DeBow now on the back end of Ken Anderson. He definitely has a lot more lateral grip there compared to the Porsche through that fast left-hander as they work their way around on the back end. DeBow now Ken Anderson. This is going to be for the P3 part of silver in this battle. heavily on the brakes. Here they go. Can DeBow get a beautiful run here as we switch back? Wow, he's very low. To the dash. The dirty dash here of DeBow's Mustang here. You see Curtis Vallone in that rearview mirror taking a look in the back end half of it as we go through. All the sparks here as the night is coming alive here at Oulton Park. For the chat, how's the race so far? I know there's a little bit of a mishap, but that's understandable here. Curtis Vallone working it through, trying to reel in. You can hear the screaming of that Porsche as they go through. Let's take a look. Do we have any closer battles? We're going to have Easton on Brian Katz here shortly in this fight. Easton trying to make something happen. He's got a little bit of damage on that front end. So we see it doesn't look like... Ooh, Easton's going to try it on the inside of Brian Katz coming into this fast left-hander. Side by side they go. Oh, beautiful racing. Katz is going to have the inside. Easton on the outside. Easton's going to try a switchback here. Coming through the hairpin. Can Katz hold off? Katz does hold off against Easton as they work their way through up to the first chicane here. 5 minutes down, 39 minutes left to go. Katz overshoots it. He's going to rejoin. That's definitely a bumpy rejoin. As we see Easton now pulling away. Now Curtis Vallone and DeBow now reel in Ken Anderson. Anderson now having to try to solidify himself here. Shuffler now reeling in Farmer 5/10 in the start of this race. We're going to switch over here as they go through. Now they're going to catch the back marker of Andrew Jaschke in this race. Jaschke, the Hoonigan car that had a bit of an issue. It is definitely not going to help Jaschke in the champion. A little bit of a wiggle out of Shuffler. Coming now down the hill in the fast left-hander here. Heavily on the brakes here. He's going to hook down. Definitely see what he does. As they go through. Can Shuffler reel him in a little bit more? We're going to switch back over here real quick as we see Perry Lewis and Josh Kimball now in this fight. Perry Lewis, Josh Kimball, 1 and 2 in the silver category. The battle is developing. Josh Kimball knows that the battle between him and Lloyd isn't really important, but the battle between him and Perry, ooh, a little bit of a snap out of the Porsche. I apologize. As they come through heavily on the brakes, looking wide and tight here as they accelerate out of the hole. Perry Lewis is going to have to try to make something stick here if he wants to get past Kimball to leapfrog him in the points here in this battle. As they go through, Perry Lewis taking a look at a little bit of bounce. Perry Lewis now on the back end. What is Josh Kimball seeing in his rearview mirror? He is seeing an all-orange Ferrari. Now Kent Anderson on the back end of DeBow there. You can see him in the background. The battle is starting to separate themselves with Curtis Vallone. DeBow has made it past. Now DeBow is chasing down Sharma here in this fight. Perry Lewis losing a little bit of time, but now Christopher Shuffler is on the attack of Farmer. Farmer, I don't know, Farmer may have cooked his tires here or had the wrong pressures here for this night race, but Shuffler now digging deep in this Mustang. He is now nose to tail with Farmer in that NSX in this championship fight. It is definitely growing and developing, ladies and gentlemen. Heavily on the brakes. That Mustang is trying to make something stick. Oh, Farmer getting a better line out of that hole compared to Shuffler here as they work their way up to the Suncoast sign here. Jaschke, will he be an issue or will he be a benefit? That is going to be the big question. Hopefully he's not an issue. But Shuffler definitely a little bit quicker on the brakes in certain areas compared to Farmer as they work their way through the grid here downhill. But that NSX, Farmer just has that hooked getting out of the hole, which is definitely helping him as we see Chestnut now reeling in James Parks here. We're going to switch over to that real quick as this battle develops here for that P14 spot as Chestnut is trying to salvage as many points as he can in this fight. Looks like he's pretty much, he knows he's got a 7.7 second gap from Felix Palant in that background. Looks like he's probably just trying to back out and solidify himself a little bit in this race. Now we have DeBow on the back end of Sharma. Let's see if Sharma, let's take a look. Ooh, a little bit of a dust pickup from Kent Anderson. And now Kent Anderson is reeling in DeBow here into this hairpin section as these two drivers. DeBow trying to figure out something to do to catch the driver from India here into the first chicane. And that sun glare is something, ladies and gentlemen, as these drivers work their way through. Let's see, we have 34 minutes left to play. It is 7:34 p.m. here at Oulton Park. And the drivers are now starting to feel the attrition of all that fuel that they are going to have to take. They cannot pit for fuel. They can't pit for tires. So this is definitely going to be an interesting one, to say the least here. As Shuffler, 6/10 back from Tyler Farmer here, trying to reel in Farmer with that fastest lap. Farmer with a 34.197. Shuffler 2/10 back from his fastest lap there. Shuffler is still he's setting faster last laps than Farmer here. But can Farmer's tires last the whole entire race? That is going to be a big thing in the question here. With Kent Anderson in that Aston Martin, trying to chase down DeBow in that Mustang here. Heavily on the brakes as they hook through. As we'll jump along board, Perry Lewis now back on the back end as the cameraman is trying to work his way through on the back end of, Josh Kimball. Oh, he is on the bumper. Oh, a little bit of a wiggle out of that pink Porsche. That Porsche trying to figure something out through the curbs. Now the question is will someone, catching a lot of that curbing as they go through. Josh Kimball trying to separate himself from Perry Lewis the best that he possibly can. That Porsche is accelerating the best that he possibly can. As you can see, the Roxy machine trying to do what they can. As we see Fox in, come on, Kimball. Make like Toto and hold the line as he goes through. Can the ARC owner be able to pull away from Lewis here in this battle at GT Meister Racing? Perry Lewis now digging deep here, 5/10 back as he reels him in the Roxy car. Going through into the final corner as he gets onto the main straight here. Perry Lewis now digging deep as he gets the run out of the corner. Looks to be a little bit better here as they come up to turn 1. The Mustang can get a little bit better on the brakes. A little bit of a wiggle out of Josh Kimball here as they go through down the hill. Between the battle, we have a battle between P6 and 7 and 8 and 9. DeBow and Anderson, Kimball and Lewis. Also a battle for P1 and 2. Farmer and Shuffler. Can Shuffler regain that traction? Oh, Perry Lewis looking inside. Kimball covers the inside. Perry Lewis going on the inside as well. Here, now he gets a better line out of that hole. Down on the inside, light on the brakes, trying to throw him off, making him brake a little bit deeper here. Perry Lewis messing up his line there, allowing Josh Kimball to accelerate out of the hole better as they work their way down into the second chicane here. Perry Lewis still trying everything he possibly can to get away. Now Ken Anderson on the back end of DeBow here in a close battle. As we say that, Shuffler reeling in the leader here as they get onto the back straight. Jashke getting a little bit of a wiggle. He allowed them through. Right now, Perry Lewis and them still in this battle. We're going to be jumping back. Perry Lewis on the rear bumper of Josh Kimball. Is he going to make a send? He is not going to make a send going into the second and the final corner here as they work their way onto the main straight here, both of these drivers. Does Perry Lewis have what it takes to get Josh Kimball with 30 minutes left to play? The Waffle Motorsports sends it. Here they go through the fast left-hander into the hairpin. Heavily on the brakes. He's going to try to figure something out here with Josh Kimball, not knowing what's going to happen. He can see that Ferrari in the distance. You can see how much deeper that Ferrari goes on the brakes. He gets a better line. Kimball loses it. Oh, that's going to allow Perry Lewis through. Now Josh Kimball's going to have to dig deep because right now DeBow, Ken Anderson, they are in the background. They are hunting him down. Now DeBow and Ken Anderson now digging deep to catch up to Kimball. Kimball, he knows he has the pace to separate himself from DeBow and Ken Anderson. Anderson now running up the hill right behind DeBow. Is he going to make the move on Anderson? Inside, oh, DeBow covers him off. Anderson takes a look. DeBow using the, oh! That was, yeah. As we see Perry Lewis now separating himself right now. That is a little bit interesting. But Shuffler now on the back end of Farmer as they go through here. On their way back now, we're going to have the fast left-hander here. Jashke in the background, sitting there P18, trying to salvage the race that he can. As the Shuffler trying to chase down the leader, Tyler Farmer, here in this battle as they work their way around. As we see now Felix Palant, he's going to be on the back end of Chestnut here shortly. We're going to have to keep an eye on that as well. What was that? Cause I have no idea. Honestly, I'm kind of a little shocked by that. I know he took a look on the inside. There was not enough space with DeBow, in my personal opinion, as we see Shuffler catching a little bit of the dirt as he tries to chase down Farmer in that NSX as they work their way up the hill into the Sunoco sign. Shuffler's going to have to dig deep to make his pass around Farmer. Did Farmer set up? Did it ruin the tires? Can Farmer's tires hold in this battle here? As we'll jump back down, possibly. With 27 minutes left to play. Can Shuffler dig deep here? Felix Palant around Sharma there in that AM category as we see Felix Palant here. Oh, I do not know what happened there. As we see Shuffler, he is still on the back end of the leader here. Oh, Shuffler's going to try the outside. Oh, Farmer outbrakes him. Outbrakes himself, pushing wide, causing Shuffler to catch the brakes there into that hairpin. Oh my God, that was crazy, ladies and gentlemen. Into the first chicane here. The Mustang is getting rowdy. It wants to bring home a victory in Britain here. It wants to bring it home as we see Shuffler still trying to figure something out here in this race. Here they go up the hill. Nice and tight. Shuffler, can he get a better run on the NSX? doesn't look like the NSX. It looks like it has a little bit of a better wing to accelerate out of that corner. Jaschke on the outside, looking at the battle for the lead of the race here. This is the closest one that we have right now, aside from Vallone catching Kent Anderson. As we see Shuffler taking a look heavily on the brakes, digs deep. Is Farmer going to make a mistake? That's the big question. Right now, Farmer's been... Oh! Shuffler's going to try the outside. Farmer's going to cover the inside. Down into the second chicane. Side by side they go. Ooh, Shuffler backs out of it. Farmer goes a little bit of deep, but Shuffler's able to recover. LaRock on the outside. Oh! Shuffler loses the back end. Manages to hold the brakes there. Good on Shuffler for holding the brakes. Shuffler's going to start getting going here. And now we've got Easton on the back end of Curtis Vallone here in this battle. Easton trying to work his way back up the grid. Here, the pro category driver in that P9 spot overall in the IXI racing car. As he goes through, we still have 24 minutes left to play, so anything is possible. These drivers are going to be pushing it to the limit with possible issues with the tires here. Is a big thing, especially with it coming towards nighttime, as we got 7:54 p.m. in game with 24 minutes left to play. Ooh, as we have Golzar in that P4 NSX, the old one, the non-Evo now. He's going to take the battle to Shuffler for that P3 spot. LaRock now 1.9 back from Farmer. As we see Kent Anderson in the pit, something must have happened there with Kent Anderson. Curious on what happened there. But right now, Golzar in that NSX trying to make something. He has a very dirty windshield. He should get that clean. But can the NSX of Golzar take it to Shuffler here in this race? Shuffler still in that P3 spot, so he's still going to help him in this championship fight. May not be by a lot, but it will be enough to help him continue his P2 in this fight. Right now, Shuffler is now separating himself to 6/10. It looks like Easton got past Vallone here in this fight. So Vallone was able to, Easton was able to get past Vallone. Now Easton's going to have to chase down Kimball and Perry Lewis here. As we see Golzar. Ooh! Farmer's off! Farmer's off! What happened to Farmer? Let's go back 30 seconds and see what happened. As you can see, Farmer coming through the fast left. Goes a little bit wide, catches the dirt, overshoots. Oh, did he manage to save it? Oh, by the blessings. Woo, by the blessings there, ladies and gentlemen. He was able to save that right there. Good on him for waiting for the other drivers to make their way through and didn't encroach and get in the way of them. Wow, what a beautiful save by them here. So now that's going to slide Shuffler up to P2, Golzar into P3. So now the NSX driver of Tyler Farmer in that NSX Evo is now going to have to chase down the driver in the old NSX in the battle for the podium spot here. Let's see what Golzar can do here. Against Shuffler. We have 20 minutes left to play, and it is just getting spicier, everybody. See, nose to tail, these drivers go. Oh, wow, that sun glare. You know, the drivers told me during the practice server that the sun glare was going to be crazy. I did not believe them until... Oh, yeah, that's horrible. Oh, I can't see a thing. Can you guys see a thing? Because I can't see a thing. How's the chat doing, everybody? I hope you guys are all doing wonderful tonight. How's the race so far? There's a driver in the chat that you'd like to see. I'm sorry, if there's a driver in the stream that you'd like to see, please type it in the chat. I'll try to get them onto the stream as quick as I can so we can watch them race here in this battle here. As we see, these guys are going nose to tail. Haven't seen a whole lot of improvement. Easton dives into the pits. I think he may need to get tires. I think something happened with Easton here. I'm really curious on what happened to Easton. As we now have Chestnut, he's going to be on the back end of James Parks. Felix Palant trying to refix everything. Hamza Golzar here in this battle. Still trying to chase down Christopher Shuffler here for this P2 as they work their way down the hill. Farmer now 3.6 back. Farmer still trying to chase down LaRock, trying to get his first GTMR win here in this season. He was super close in one of them at Paul Ricard, but he lost out due to the rain. He had probably about one more lap to go, and he could have had his first GTMR win. LaRock digging deep, trying everything that he possibly can. Something happened to Josh Kimball. Did he have some damage? No, Josh Kimball doesn't have any damage. Looks like he fell back a little bit. He's going to have to dig deep and try to catch up to Curtis Vallone as we see Shuffler, Hamza, nose to tail now through. This is the closest battle that we have aside from Chestnut and James Parks battling. Switch back over here. Nose to tail. Chestnut going to try to take a look. Heavily into brakes into the turn one here. The McLaren driver of James Parks holding off. Chestnut now trying to take a look on the inside, possibly on the downhill left-hander. And the sun glare kicking in here. Chestnut having to break. Ooh, little bit of a snap out of Chestnut here in this fight here as they go through. Looks like Hamza's still trying to dig deep here in this battle as they go through. Oh, Ken Anderson. Ken Anderson. Ken Anderson actually dove into the pits because he ran out of fuel, ladies and gentlemen. He just said in the ACC general chat. I apologize. I was reading that real quick because I was very curious on what happened to him. As Hamza Golzar, and it looks like Chestnut got past James Parks there. As Hamza Golzar still in the battle, but ladies and gentlemen, there is Farmer in the background in the hunt. He is trying to reel these two in. He wants that podium spot, but the question is with 60 minutes left to play, can he reel them in here as they go through? Oh, this is definitely a battle that we have been looking for. Now Josh Kimball, the driver that Fox has been calling out for. Kimball now 1.4 seconds back from Vallone. Can Kimball reel Vallone in to get that P2 spot of that silver class here? That's going to be a big one. 1.4 now. We're going to keep an eye on that as this develops. Hamza making Shuffler work for that P2 spot here Farmer now 4.3. Farmer looks like he's having a little bit of an issue with the tires. Oh, Farmer going super wide here out of that back left-hander. Oh, as Farmer dives into the pits, I think Farmer may have cooked his tires here in this race. So that's going to allow Andre Lloyd to slot himself into P4. Ooh, Josh Kimball, we were talking about with Curtis Vallone. Porsche on Porsche action here as we go down to the left-hander. Josh Kimball now on the back end of Curtis Vallone here, working their way through. They're going to be coming up to the left-hander here. What can Josh Kimball do as he works his way around the bend here, heavily on the brakes? Oh, he's definitely trying to figure something out here as he reels in Curtis Vallone. Vallone with a little bit of a wiggle. Everybody's tires are probably beat. The sun is down. Drivers can see what they need to see here as they come out of the first chicane at Oulton Park. Ooh, through the second chicane, Kimball gets a better run than Vallone, heavily on the brakes. Now, Kimball, he's going to have to dig deep to try to get that P6 spot overall here. Farmer moving down the pits. Kimball now on the back end of Vallone. Vallone now having to try to figure something out here. As now the nighttime is starting to begin here with 14 minutes remaining. Lewis is on the back end of Lloyd. Gazar in the back end of Shuffler. Kimball on the back of Vallone. So we're going to quickly go down the list and see the closest battles here. Hamza, Shuffler, Lewis, Lloyd. Lewis trying to make something stick. Now we have Kimball on the back end of Vallone as they work their way through now down into the hairpin. Kimball. Oh, here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So right now, the closest battle we have right now is Josh Kimball and Curtis Vallone as they go through, work their way up the hill. Gozar still holding 5/10 with Perry Lewis, about 8/10 now off of Andre Lloyd. But Kimball is trying to dig deep against Curtis Vallone here in this fight as they go through up to the second of the final corner. Kimball getting a good run on him. Oh, you definitely see, looks like Kimball definitely holds the brakes a little bit more going into that fast left-hander, which slows him down. And Vallone isn't able to Vallone is able to capitalize against Josh Kimball and pull away here in this battle. We're going to quickly switch over to Perry Lewis. Not really making any improvements. Hamza still nose to tail with Shuffler. But right now, ooh, Kimball losing it a little bit out of that second chicane. Must be a commentator curse here. As Kimball falls back a little bit. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. Hamza now on the back end of Shuffy. Shuffy sitting P2, LaRock P1. We have 11 minutes to play, everybody. Go through Hamza now on the back end. Is Hamza going to make the last-minute move on Christopher Shuffler here towards the end of the race? That is definitely going to be an interesting one, to say the least. Here they go, accelerating down into the second chicane. Is there a bit of an improvement? There isn't. But Hamza now nose to tail with Christopher Shuffler. We see James Parks in the background there. Ooh, a little bit of a sparks in the night. That's what we like to see. For those that are interested in racing, you can join us on our Discord, because starting next week, we will be at Bathurst doing 45 minutes of the mountain. So you guys can be a part of that in our Pro Silver and AM Series splits here at GT Meister Racing. Ooh, and Alan Zhu. So right now this battle is developing. Alan Zhu's going to be in the area. So now how are these drivers going to react with Alan Zhu right there? Here goes Christopher Shuffler in that Mustang with Alan Zhu right in front of him. Shuffler going to send it on the inside. Hamza is now going to try to make it. Alan Zhu doing a good job moving out of the way, allowing these two drivers to battle it out as they power through the grid. As we'll jump back down, Perry Lewis now on the back end of Andre Lloyd Lewis, trying to make something happen and work. Ooh, Gulzar backs off. Lewis now pressuring Lloyd as much as he possibly can. He's got that orange Ferrari in the back of him here as they work their way up to the second chicane. Let's take a look at the heli cam. Oh, you just see how much deeper that Ferrari just breaks compared to that Aston Martin. DeBow now is on the back end of Brian Katz. The battles are picking up here towards the end of the race, ladies and gentlemen. As now DeBow trying to take a look on the outside inside against the AM driver of Brian Katz. As they get onto the main straight, you can see the night is dropping. Oh, you see Perry Lewis now getting a better run through the hairpin as they work their way up to the first chicane. Perry Lewis definitely trying to make something stick here as they... Ooh, Perry Lewis catching a little bit of that dirt, slowing himself down. That's going to allow Andre Lloyd a little bit of a breather. And now here goes Hamza around the outside. Can he make it stick? Shuffler's going to give him the space as they work up to the Sunoco side. Oh, a bit of a spit fireball going from Shuffler here. And that's how it's done right there. As you see the NSX driver looking and then having to back out of that into the heavy braking into the second to the final corner. Hamza now getting rowdy. He wants that P2. He wants to take it. He wants to put the car on one more podium spot ahead of Christopher Shuffler in this championship fight. LaRock now 8.356 seconds ahead. But we have 6 minutes left to play. Josh Kimball, 7/10 back from Valone. Kimball reeling in Valone in this championship fight, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have to keep an eye on that as it gets closer. Heavy on the brakes. Do they go into the hairpin, nose to tail? Hamza getting a better run out of it. Oh, he wants that spot. You can see him. Oh, here they go down into the corner. Now Shuffy having to hold off Hamza. Oh, a little bit of a bump right there from the NSX. Didn't upset the Mustang whatsoever as they go through. Now up the hill. Hamza having to back out just a little bit. Now Josh Kimball 410s back from Valone into the hairpin. This is a battle for P6 and P2 in the Silver Championship fight here. Valone trying to make a statement of of his pace when he came to the silver category. Now we have Josh Kimball moving himself from the AM up to the silver this season. Can Kimball make it stick around Valone here with 5 minutes left to play, ladies and gentlemen, here as they go through? The 45-minute sprint was everything and anything we've all hoped for here in this battle. Josh Kimball taking a look on the inside. He backs out, going through the fast right-hander here as they work their way through this mini short shoot back straight. As he goes through Valone. Can Kimball make it stick here heavily on the brakes here? He's reeled him in so far. He's got 4 minutes left to play. This is probably going to be about 3 to 4 more laps here as they work their way through. Last lap of Kimball, 136.2. Valone, 136.3. A tenth faster Kimball can be, but he's got to push it a little bit further. He has a 3/10 faster fastest lap as these drivers are starting to develop here. Kimball taking a look on the inside. He can catch him into the hairpin, but then he gets too cautious after the hairpin here. Now up to the first chicane. Here goes Kimball now. Nose tail, 2 Porsches. Into the first chicane. Kimball's going to have to make something stick here. Valone losing the back end of a little bit. Kimball's going to get the run up in the hill. Oh, nose to tail. Here they go into the second chicane. Is Kimball going to try something? He's going to take the look on the inside, but he backs out. Light on the braking now. It's going to allow Valone to send it a little bit too deep. Now, Kimball now reworking his way up the hill here. But it's not enough. He needed to attack a little bit harder here as they work their way up to the Sunoco signs here. Kimball trying to make something stick here with Curtis Valone here. Ooh, and the cameraman's trying to do everything he possibly can. And now Kimball all over the back end of Curtis Valone here as they work their way through into the second, the final corner. Kimball is trying to make it stick here. Ooh, a little bit of a wiggle out of Kimball. Now, as they go through, as they work their way up the hill. Now Kimball trying to make something happen into turn 1. He gets a better run now. Is this going to be what he needs to attack Valone with? Down the hill they go. Oh, now Kimball's getting tighter. He is definitely taking the fight now to Curtis Valone here with 2 minutes left to play in this battle. Can Kimball improve? He needs to improve to move up. He needs to hold out that P2 because right now Chestnut down in P12, he's not going to get as many points as Kimball is in the silver category here. So Kimball could take the overall. Ooh, a little bit of a snap wiggle out of Kimball here. That's going to allow Curtis Valone a little bit of a breather in the separation here. LaRock still leading the series right now here at Oulton Park in that P1 spot in that Aston Martin, the heart of racing car. Kimball now heavily on the brakes. Valone, they are going to have about 1 lap left to play here in this fight. As they go through last lap, Valone 137.1, Kimball 137.0, 2/10 separation. Sorry, I apologize, with Valone's lap time of 137.192. 2/10 separation between the two. Can Kimball reel him in towards the end? It is right there. It is within his grasp. He's going to have 1 lap to go when they cross the line. Last lap, 36 flat out of Valone, 36.3 out of Kimball. Here they go down into the fast left-hander. Hamza still on the back end of Christopher Shuffler. They're going to have traffic as they go through. They're going to have Jaschke, Chestnut here in this battle. Switch back to Kimball. Kimball, can he make something stick? It doesn't look. He's 7/10 back. We're going to keep an eye on it. Hamza now. Shuffler. 44 seconds left to play. Here they go through. Where is LaRock? Has LaRock crossed the line yet? LaRock is about to cross the line. They will have one more lap to go. Hamza still taking a look on the inside of Shuffler. Shuffler now trying to figure something out with the back traffic that's going to be in front of them as they work their way around. Josh Kimball, 7/10 back. Ooh. Chestnut now with allowing Jashke through. Now the battle's going to definitely develop. Shuffler's going to have to figure something out. Hobbs is going to take a look on the inside, cover some brakes. He's going to have to back out of that fast left-hander as they work their way through. Jashke off the track. Now Shuffler is going to have to try to get past Chestnut without having too much of an issue. Now Kimball now back down to 6/10 on Valone here on the heavy braking point. Shuffler going to have to cover the inside. Chestnut definitely trying to figure out where he's going to park the car to allow Shuffler through into the first chicane. Here they go. Shuffler going to have to try to figure something out. Chestnut, what's he going to do? Is Shuffler going to get the acceleration out of the hole compared to Kim? He does get beautiful work there with Chestnut and the two drivers. That's going to help Shuffler get a bit of a separation here as we see Kimball losing out a little bit of that. Perry Lewis now on the back end of Lloyd here. But right now, Hamza, this battle for P2. We're going to be bouncing between Lewis and Lloyd now in this fight. Kimball drop back 8/10 now as we see Shuffler working up to the Sunoco side. This is going to be the final battle for P2. Can Hamza make something stick? Shuffler super wide here. He's going to have to stick the line and outbrake Hamza. Hamza, is he going to take a look down into the second to last corner? He is not. Can he get a run out of it? It looks like he can. Gets a little bit of a bobble out of the NSX. Shuffler is going to come across with P2. Now we're going to jump over Lewis on the back end of Lloyd as they work their way through here down into the final corner here. Lewis is not going to be able to reel in Lloyd. Lewis is going to come in 4-5 here as we go through. Now Kane Kimball reel in Valone here. Now Valone into the Sunoco side. Looks like Kimball is going to be trying to do an initial D thing with no headlights. I don't think it's going to work here, but you never know. Valone now looking to secure his second place silver finish here, with Kimball finishing it out into the third place silver, with DeBow coming across in the back half in that P8 spot of the overall series. He's going to work his way through into the second of the final corner, ladies and gentlemen, as they work their way through. Katz, Sharma, those other two drivers still have yet to cross the line, ladies and gentlemen. LaRock is your winner, and Sharma crosses the line. Brian Katz working his way through. Sharma in the background working his way through as well. Brian Katz bringing it as a lead AM driver here for the split. That's going to help him out a lot. Sharma now crossing the line in P10, ladies and gentlemen. There you have it. LaRock P1, Christopher Shuffler P2, Hamza Gozar P3, Lloyd 4, Lewis 5, Curtis Valone 6, Kimball 7, DeBow 8, Katz 9, Sharma 10, Felix Palant 11, Jashke 12, Chestnut 13, Allen Zoo 14, James Parks 15, Farmer 16, Ken Anderson 18, and Luis Vasquez P19. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is your finishing order here for GT Meister Racing. It's been truly an honor to have all of you guys here with us for this championship battle here at Oulton Park. I apologize for some of the things. And a little bit if I didn't catch anybody. I hope you guys had a blast watching. I truly did. It was truly an honor to have all of you guys here. If you guys would like to join us, you can definitely check us out in the at our Discord. You can definitely check us out our Discord link that Exia has posted in the chat. That is me. I am the owner of the league. We do every Friday night we do GT3 racing on ACC. Monday nights we do GT4, and we will have a for iRacing we do GT4 on Monday nights, and then for We will be having a GT3 season for iRacing coming up, as well as a next-gen NASCAR series, which is going to be a 50-lap maximum sprint series for the next-gen NASCARs. So if you guys would like to participate and come and join us racing here as well, it would be truly an honor to have you guys here racing with us. It's truly an honor to have you guys here watching with us, and it is I'm going to have to be calling it a night. I want to wish you guys all the well and the best, and definitely take care, guys.